In today's build, I'm building a tabletop ring toss game. Some people call it a tiki toss game. It's a really fun little game that's great for the whole family. I'll show you all the steps that it takes to build one. You can go down to your local hardware store and get this material together and build one yourself. It's a lot of fun, and you can do this project for about $20 to $30. I hope you guys enjoy the build. So guys, I just made this quick little sketch so I can kind of refer to it when I'm explaining what step I'm on and what part that I'm making. This project's very simple, it just has a few parts. But right now I'm just working with the base plate and the center dowel rod. Now the base plate's already cut. I used a prefab piece of material, a piece of shelving that I bought at the hardware store. It's got a plastic covering over probably an MDF underneath there. So this is going to be a great size, I think, for this project, because I want to take, when I build this game, it's going to go on my picnic table when we play. So I'm assuming that's where we're going to play it, or even my workbench out here. We could try it out. So anyway, I cut my dowel rod to 16 inches, and I'm just going to mount it with a screw through the bottom. It's got I did a nice cut on a miter saw, and I just sanded it a little bit, so hopefully it has a nice solid mounting surface. And I'm just going to use a deck screw through the bottom, and I just made an X here across my board so I can find the center. And I'm just going to do a pilot hole with a deck screw to hold the rod here. Got the base with the dowel rod mounted over here. That's what it looks like right now. It's just the dowel rod's nice and secure. It feels really nice and firm. It's not gonna go anywhere. This game, it doesn't require much of a structural support. So now I'm going to be working on the roof type section. I'm not sure what you call it, but I'm going to go with the roof. So just for reference, so this is the piece here I'm going to work with, and my goal is to make it just slightly narrower than the base. Alright, got a little progress here. I've got the roof of my game mounted. Everything's secure. Now I'm going to start measuring with mounting the hooks here and the string with the ring. I'm going to start seeing about what distance I need to measure it, and maybe I think I'm going to tie my string first and then start seeing how the ring swings to see the distance I need to mount the height of the hooks right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and drill some really small pilot holes with the smallest drill bit I have. And then I'm going to tie off it's going to be fishing line, so I'm just going to tie it off and drop it through. And then I'm going to start just measuring everything. So I made some pretty good progress. And I really like these big challenges for this project for me, the way I'm doing it. I bought these big hooks. They're kind of oversized for this. I just thought they looked neat, and I thought they would be an easy target for the game, so it wouldn't be too hard to get it to hook. But these are so big, I'm going to have to modify them to make them mount here. And it's also a challenge to get two hooks to go through this in the same place. So that may be a compromise of the build, or may have to use a different hook. So I'm just going to keep going and just play it by ear. Hey guys, I was going to show you how I'm setting up everything. So depending what dimensions you use, you could use my dimensions or another build size. But I'm using a 16-inch dowel rod, and the width of my top piece here, the roof as I'm calling it, is the same width as the bottom. So what I did was I started by hanging. I've done a little testing here, and I started by hanging the ring all the way to the bottom, but just barely. I tied it off to where it would not touch the bottom, so it can swing freely. So I think that's the first key to this project, is making sure this ring is not going to strike the bottom plate or the surface that you're working with. And now I need to figure out where to locate the hook. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to hold with this hand the hook, and I've already made a little mark where it kind of looks like it's the perfect spot. But what I want to do is bring my hook up this way, and I don't want my hook to be hitting where it's going to latch, where I'm going to mount my latch. So I want it to be right in the sweet spot where it's going to clear the dowel rod, but it'll also hook this. So this is a good spot for the ring. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit, and that looks like about the perfect place for this to come around and catch. Alright guys, I have my hook taped up there. That's a pretty good spot. I think that's what I'm going to go with. But I was just going to show you how I mocked it up, and now I'm going to test it. I'm going to actually play the game, at least on one side, and make sure that's a good spot. Sweet. Alright guys, I think that's a good spot. I have a little pencil mark there. Now I'm just going to call it good right there. Now I'm going to start installing it. I'm going to make my little notch in the dowel rod and just keep going. So this piece right here, this is going to be my scorekeeping piece. And all it is it's a little holder for this little piece of dowel rod. And basically when you get the dowel rod starts in the center. Whenever you score and you hook, you move your side, I would move the dowel rod this way. And then if the other side scores, he moves it one back. Oops. And the goal is to land here and then off the game piece to win. Basically what I'm doing right now is I want to make sure that my ring does not touch or get too close where it's going to contact this during the game. So this looks good here. I have a piece of tape to mark where this piece is at, and the ring clears it here. I could always make this a little shorter if I needed to. And also let me just flip this around because that side's not even drilled, it's just mocked up. And let me see if this ring gets too close. So right there it's hitting. So I either need to shorten this or make this shorter, make the actual little peg shorter. So I need to figure out how I'm going to mock this up to make it a little bit smaller. Now, a lot of times people have this removable and have this off to the side, but what I want to do, just because I know I'll probably lose the pieces, is have this mounted here. So right now I'm just going to keep moving this around until I find the sweet spot where neither one of my rings contacts. So depending on, I may have some extra room over here depending on how this is going to go. So maybe I could cheat this over just a little bit. Looks like it actually could come a little bit farther than what I had it marked, and try that. So I'll just, since you guys might want to see this, I'll just flip this around and have this over here like it was, and see how that looks. Just barely touching. So I'll keep playing with it, and I'll make some adjustments as I go. And this is not my final piece. I'm actually going to cut another one. So this is just to mock this up. Alright guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some felt pads on the corners of the bottom of my game here. This is just the base piece, and what I have is some of these felt pads that you can get at the hardware store. They have an adhesive back on them. I'm just going to add some hot glue. That's what I've done in the past. I'll peel off the adhesive back, but I'll still add some hot glue to it just to make it a little stronger. That way my board will be a little more balanced when we're playing and we're just having fun out there, because if we're playing on the picnic table, it's not going to be very flat anyway, but maybe the felt pads will help it balance out. So I'm just going to stick these on the corners, and hopefully that'll make the game just a little bit better. Secrets. Yeah. Oh, alright. That's pretty good. I just keep getting better.
You got it, right?
Did I get one?
Yeah. Get another one!
Oh man.
Yay!
Oh, I almost got you back.
That was so good. I was like...
Did you get one? Oh, that's it.
Game over.
Oh. Alright, let's go again. I'm just gonna keep getting better and better. Oh yeah. Well guys, here's the finished product. I have everything done. I think it came out really neat. This board it's obviously made to go on a tabletop, but right here I'm just trying to get you guys a good picture of the project. I'm really happy with the way it came out. And this is one of those games where you have to practice and figure out strategy, because it's pretty tricky. It's not supposed to be real easy, and I think if we adjust our hooks, we can make it a little easier, a little harder, depending on if you have younger kids. You might want to make it a little bit easier for them. Maybe put some bigger hooks on there while they're starting out. But we had a lot of fun. Me and my daughter played on it for a little bit to see how it was, and it was so fun. Well guys, I appreciate you following me along on this build. This is a really simple project if you guys want to build one yourself. I guess I'll see you guys on the next project. Take care.